Hello, 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 you guys, and welcome back to another dynamic episode of the Dear Black Woman podcast. And as you know, this entire season has been dedicated to amplifying the powerful and transformational stories of Black women. And we are joined today by another dynamic co-author of the Dear Black Woman project. Today we're joined by Eternity Sledge, a contributing author. She just happens to be the youngest author in this project. Now, Eternity identifies herself as the multifaceted Black girl. And again, as the youngest contributor to this project, she brings a vital and fresh perspective. Her story is candid and an inspiring journey through trauma, grief, and healing, ultimately leading to a profound self-discovery and empowerment. She's a poet, an entrepreneur, and a testament to the power of resilience at any age. So, first of all, Eternity, we just want to thank you so much for being here and bring her right up to the stage. Hello.
That was a beautiful introduction.
I was just talking about you, love. Listen. It was true. So being that it was true, I was like, hey, let me just go ahead and throw it out there. We got to uplift everybody. Now, let me ask you this. As the youngest author of this anthology project, what unique perspective do you feel you bring to the collection of stories from Black women?
Ooh, I feel like I have this weird space that I'm able to be in where I can connect with the younger, but I can also connect with the older.
Mm-hmm.
And so that allows me to be relatable to everybody. Everybody isn't able to do that where they're able to relate to all people. And so that's something I feel like I bring to the table is my story. It can fit the younger people who may be in college, but it can also fit older people who may be going through a divorce or who just had a child or a grandchild or anything like that.
Absolutely. Now, first of all, you mentioned college, so we going to take a small pause to congratulate Eternity because she just graduated. Tell people what you graduated in and what you're going to be doing moving forward.
Yes, so I actually got 2 degrees in 5 years, y'all. The first one was a Bachelor of Science in Elected Studies with a focus in business. And the second was a Master of Science in Law, which is the intersection between business, law, and technology. And moving forward, I am full-blown entrepreneurship. I started a nonprofit organization in addition to my business, and there may or may not be a PhD in the future. We're gonna see. We
Okay.
put that in
Okay.
God's hands.
Listen, you just made me realize how much I need a soundboard so that I can have that round of applause going on. Because for all of those accolades and all of those things you just achieved, we are very, very happy for you. Okay. So thank you and congratulations on everything. Now, you define yourself as the multifaceted Black girl. Can you tell us about the moment you claimed that title and what it means to embrace so many different aspects of your identity, especially at your age?
Yeah, so as a poet, a lot of poets have stage names. And when I first was going on the stage, I was just Eternity. Hey, y'all, I'm Eternity. That's who I am because I love my name and I feel like my name is so powerful. But then I started to think more about who I truly am and about how people always tell me I need to choose one thing, I'm doing too much. And I was like, yeah, it's time for me to embrace that. So multifaceted is what I am. Multifaceted is what I'm going to be, and I'm gonna stand in that. And me being a Black woman, I love Black women. So I had to add the Black in there, and then the MBG just sounded so good. So at first it was girl, but I'm actually going through a transition right now from girl to God. Because as I step into a womanhood, I step into adulthood. I no longer want to be just a girl. I don't want to limit myself to my gender because I'm more than that. So I'm now trying to go by multifaceted Black guide because I feel like that's what I do. I guide people to clarity. I guide them to light. I support them on their journey. So
I love that. I love it. I love it. Now, in your letter, you mentioned ACEs, which is adverse childhood experiences. How has those early events in your life sort of shaped the way you navigate personal boundaries and safety in your adult life now?
Oh, it definitely it affects my trust so much because as a child, I was able to trust people first and then wait for them to give me a reason not to trust them. But now I have my guard up. So you have to give me a reason to trust you, which was it was just a bit it was a big change for me. Like I used to be very opening. I used to be the one that's at the front door, like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? I was the host, I was the life of the party. And going through those different experiences that weren't the best for me started to put me into a shell and make me kind of close off myself. And so now I'm trying to get back to it where I'm like, hey, this me, this what I'm doing, especially in this entrepreneurship space. But ooh, them aces, they
Okay.
definitely have shown up. I'm
Okay.
trying to work on it.
I understand that, boo. I do. Now, throughout middle school and high school, you were incredibly active in a number of extracurricular activities. Now, you also said you often felt mean, sad, and like a loner. How did you manage these two conflicting realities of external achievement while also dealing with your internal struggle?
I feel like I was known, but I wasn't understood. There
Mm.
wasn't a lot of people who were on both sides of being real smart and also being active. So I was a cheerleader, but I was a band student. So it would be football games, and y'all would see me cheering, and then I'm running to the halftime show with my clarinet. And so for me, it was a lot of solitude, a lot of isolation. I was dealing with depression, dealing with anxiety. So when I would be with my cheerleaders and I'd be on my team, I felt like that was my safe space. I felt like I was at home. I was on that stage, I'm able to perform, I'm able to step into a new character. It's not just me, the individual, it's us as a team. And that allowed me to be more comfortable in those spaces. But when I'm going through the halls, I'm seeing people laughing with their friends, and I kind of struggled with letting people get close to me because of what I had endured and because of the change I was going through from being that life of the party to being more of this quiet mouse on the wall. I think even in my personal statement for college, I was saying that I was a chameleon. I used
Mm-hmm.
to blend into the surroundings that I was in. I wouldn't change who I was, but I would kind of
Be
bring out
yeah,
the pieces of me that fit,
yeah.
and I didn't
So
wanna do that.
what I heard you describe is what many Black women, despite their age, go through. It's high functioning depression. It's where you are actually inside depressed, but to the outside world, you look okay. Because again, Black women are multifaceted. So we are multi talented, multi mask wearers, multi bag carriers, and we make it look like it's okay. And we're literally falling apart on the inside.
Yes.
Yes,
Even when I turned 18, I got a tattoo. My mama did not want me to do that, she don't have any, but the tattoo I got it was a family tattoo
I
of, like, the
see.
infinity symbol with love, but I added a semicolon to mine because the fact that I was able to continue my life, I didn't take it away, was a really big part of me, and I was, "Oh, I need to submit this and remember this moment of me continuing to push through and continuing to love myself."
I love that. I love that. Let's talk about a little bit more about your high school moments. Now, in your story, you wrote about in high school when you had a deeply disturbing thought while cleaning a mirror and felt your request for help was dismissed. And I think it circles back to what you said about that semicolon. What would you say now to other young Black girls who may feel similarly unsupported when they try to voice their mental health struggles?
I would first say, find somebody you trust. Keep looking. Don't stop. Because I stopped at people who didn't understand. If they don't understand what depression is or what anxiety is, it's a little bit harder for them to help you. So that's first. Keep looking for somebody. Keep looking. Keep looking. And if you can't find somebody, find me. Come contact me. And I'll either help you find somebody or I'll be that person for you. And then I will also say it's not a phase, it doesn't pass. What you feel is real, but you can get through it. You can figure out how to cope with it. You can figure out how to make it a little bit lighter. And the third thing is if you don't have to take that medicine, don't take it. And I'm gonna
Okay.
leave that right there.
I'm with you on that. If you don't have to take it, and here's my thing: if you do feel like you need to take it, take it to a point where you can wean yourself off of it, and you include other techniques and modalities that can help you cope with some of the feelings and things that you may be dealing with.
Oh, and journal.
Yes. See, that's what
Journaling and
techniques.
affirmations.
Yeah. Other techniques and modalities, anything that you can add to it that can help. Journaling, affirmations, meditations, breath work, all of those things assist. And if you do, like she said, if you can stay away from the medication, stay away from it. But if you have to take it, include all of those different modalities so that you can wean yourself off of it and do your best not to stay on it for longer than 3 months. So, my next question to you is, your mother's words, an empty mind is a devil's playground, which we've all heard that, okay? An idle mind is the devil's playground, became a driving force for you to stay busy. How has your relationship with this philosophy evolved as you've learned the importance of rest and self care?
I love silence now. I was talking to Erica Kessie. She's who trained me to be a Thrive strategist, and she gave me the challenge of sitting in silence for 15 minutes and bringing all those different parts, all those pieces in my head to a board and telling them to come together and let's make a decision. Let's all be on the same page. And ever since then, the silence hasn't been as loud. I've been able to sit in it, and the devil hasn't been able to take over because my faith has begun to step in. It's no longer being filled with fear or filled with bad thoughts. Now I'm able to feel it with praise. I'm feeling it with gratitude. I'm feeling it with love. And so that idle mind is no longer the devil's playground. Now it's my playground to create the life that I
Yes.
want, and I love it.
I know that's right. An idle mind is a creative space, and that's what I tell people often. I literally, like, y'all got a text from me that said I'm gonna be out of touch this weekend. I need my downtime so that I can clear my mind and allow creativity to just explode, implode, and come in and see what I can come up with next. So I get it. Yes. Okay, so my next question is a threefold. Okay. I'm going to talk about several things and then I'm going to let you answer the question. Okay. So, first, I want to touch on, you having a breakup or well, yeah, because we break up with friendships, relationships, all of that. I want to talk about the breakup between you and your very close sister friend and how you felt abandoned during that time, which also caused you to withdraw from college. But I also want to talk about when you came back. And after being hurt by that sister friend, you decided to join a sorority. And I want to talk about how you felt about that. But I think all of that leads up into you creating the Becoming That Girl program. So let's first touch on the breakup, then touch on the healing portion of you joining the sorority, and then you taking that a step further and creating an entire program. Okay.
Okay, so losing my friend was very difficult for me because we were living together. I had withdrew off from school already because I was going through so much. And she was like, hey, you could come stay with me. And I think I stayed with her for a couple of days, maybe. And then she was gone. And I took over her lease. And I did not hear from her for real after that at all. So that was really heartbreaking. We did everything together. We would go get ice cream. We would go to the grocery store together. If she was in the bathroom, I was on the other side. We send each other TikToks. Like we were so close. We
What
were
do you
attached
mean
at
she
the
just left?
She was going through some things with her family, and her
Okay.
family did not. Well, I don't want to say they didn't like me, but they didn't like that they didn't know what was going on with her, and I knew, and I was trying to protect her. I was the one there next to her, holding her hand, like, let's get you talking to this person, let's take care of you. What do you need? Giving a hug. I was there, I was active, I was in it, and they were far. They didn't
Mm,
like that. So they came and they took her.
okay.
They didn't just take her from the school, they took her from me. And that was really hard for me because we were supporting each other. Like she knew what I was going through, I knew what she was going through, and we were attached at the hip. So when they took her, it was like this big void. Now I had already withdrew from school. I had already had to go through the struggle of telling my parents that now I'm living on my own. I got to get a job. It was so much going on. And to lose my best friend during that time was just, it had me distraught.
Mm,
So I actually made the Becoming That Girl after that, before I
Okay.
joined a sorority. So Becoming That Girl was me sitting down in that apartment, that same apartment where I lost her, and being like, we can't just sit here and mope. I can't sit
Mm-hmm.
here and mope. I can't sit here and be sad. I took time off of school not to not go back. I took time off because I had to figure out who I was and find out my new motivation for being here. So Becoming That Girl was me writing it out. That was me writing it out. Who is that girl? What does she look like? What does she do? How does she take care of herself? And how am I going to start to get to that place? And so I was doing it. I was tracking it every week. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna learn how to communicate, talking to people just to talk to them, just so I can learn how to talk better. Or what was it? Reading books. Oh, let me go to the library. Let me give me a book. Let me open this book. Let me figure out how to include this in my day. Let me journal. Let me put these affirmations on the mirror. And every single day, I was pushing myself and pushing myself to become the best person until I met this one girl. This one girl, I was working with her, and she told me she failed math, I want to say like 3 times in high school. I said, oh, this isn't where I belong. I got to get back in school. I got to get back in school. And that's when I ended up going to my HBCU, Fisk University. And I joined a sorority there because I loved seeing so many Black women together. I love the way that we can empower each other and move mountains when we stand together and we stand strong. So I'm so happy to have me and my 38 line sisters and for us to be able to support each other in everything we're doing. And I translated that same love and support into my community that I built called the Multifaceted Collective, which is for the girlies like me, the ones who we got a whole bunch of things going on. The girlies like Cammy too. If y'all didn't know, Cammy got a lot going on. Because we need support. And people often only support people who are doing one thing. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is what you do. I'm going to come to you for that. You're good at cookies. That's all I'm going to come to you for. The people who got 5,000 things going on, they like, you're doing too much. You need to choose one. You ain't good.
Yeah,
But
I
we be the
tell
best.
people when I hear coaches tell their clients, "Oh, you need to pick one thing, one lane, and focus on it." I say, "Oh, you got a limited mind." Yeah,
Mm. You got a limited mind for sure.
you got
Because
a
what
limited
makes you
mind.
think that?
Yeah, you
As a
you got to.
human, we're not made for that. We're
First of
not made to
all,
do one thing.
you can't teach people that they have to have several lanes of income and then tell them they need to pick one thing to stick to. That's a contradiction within itself. So if you're going to teach people that they need to have 7 lanes of income, you need to show them how to structure and manage those 7 lanes so that it works for them and not stressing them. And that's one of the things that I do with my branding company is literally show people how to make all of those things work together for them.
Together.
Yeah.
That's even I don't even like the word niche. If somebody asks me, I'm like, you need to choose a theme.
Yeah.
What do you want to be known for? I want to be known for transformation. Whatever that looks like for you, when you see me, no. Baby, we finna transform it. We're gonna make it great. We're gonna make it happen.
Yes, yes. And mine is building and legacy. And that's what I've always done. Even when I decided to open my branding business, I branded myself as the brand architect. And we have the red print, which is building. Not only do I build your business, but I build your confidence in the process. Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. Brand architects.
Listen, so we covered all of that, and I had like 4 questions. Just you see how I wrapped all that up together. Like now, you experienced this immense grief, but you channeled your pain from your cousin's tragic death into creating this nonprofit in his honor. Let's talk about the role of positive action and legacy in your grieving process. How did all of that come about for you?
So when I was younger, my mama always said, "You gonna do something. You gonna help people. I could see you with a nonprofit." And I was like, "Girl, no, no, no. I'm not
Y'all,
gonna do
first of
that."
all, wait a minute. Let me just say this. It's crazy to hear her say, when I was younger.
It is. I probably was like 10, which isn't that long ago.
Because eternity. When I say when I was younger, I'm talking about when I was your age.
About a decade ago. She would say that. And I would be like, I don't know about that. Like, nonprofits don't make money. Nonprofits don't make money. And then I started working. And I started working at nonprofits. I was like, oh, wait, they could make some money. So in
They
the back
make
of my mind,
all
I
the
always knew.
money. Okay.
When I found out the NFL used to be a nonprofit, I said, oh, okay, I could do that. And so I had it in the back of my mind. I wanted to start it, didn't know when, didn't know how, didn't know where. Then April 15th, 2023, we got that call about my cousin. And the first thing I thought was, I got to do something for my family. I have to do something to keep my family together and to keep his legacy alive because that's what he did. He was a community builder. He would give you the shirt off his back. He was a provider. He was funny. He had some style. And when you see him, you would see his friends and they would protect him. Like they were like the Guardians of the Galaxy. You see them coming, it's a crew of them. They looking good. They taking care of you. They respectful, And I was like, we need this to continue. We need this to continue, and we need to not have any more intentional deaths, is what I call it. But homicides and suicides should not be two of the top 3 reasons our kids are going away. I hate that. And that's what led me to this. That's what led me to this and drove me to this because I'm from the south suburbs of Chicago. So I know what's going on.
Yeah, I was going to say, where you're located, what you're doing is remarkable work because we all know the nickname of Chicago. We all know, we hear the news, we know what's going on up there every day. And what you're doing is commendable because it's needed in that area.
I also think there's this misconception that it's because the kids are bad. The kids are not just bad because they're bad. Something happened to them. Something is not being provided to them. And there's things being taken away. Like the more you take away, the less it is for them to do, the less energy they have to put towards something else. And I want to give them the exposure.
When you start closing positive programs, when you start closing resources that are available for the neighborhood, I mean, let's circle back to what your mama said. An idle mind is the devil's playground. Everybody don't have the mindset to, or know how to turn that empty space in their mind into creativity. And when you take those resources out of neighborhoods, when you take those resources and those activities away, what do you think that's going to breed? Especially when they're pumping the type of music, the type of TV that they're pumping into these children. What do you think that's going to breed? Yeah. So you talked about family and you talked about the importance of legacy and family. Let's talk about Pearlie Mae. Okay, because clearly she was a pillar in your life. What is the most important lesson that your grandmother taught you, and either through her words or her actions, that you carry with you today?
To keep your faith strong. Keep your faith strong. Even this necklace, you see it's a cross, but it got a pearl in the middle. That's for my grandma. I wear it every day. I don't take it off because she's the reason I'm as close to God as I am. There was a point in my life when I've lost a couple of grandparents. It's been like 3 of them. The first time, that was my first big loss. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. I was in high school. I said, God ain't real. God don't love me. God can't love me if he let this happen. And then I went on a retreat where they was teaching me about God and they was teaching me about Jesus. And I was like, okay, I get that. I get that. And then I kept going with life and I didn't think much of it. And then I was taking care of my grandma, Pearlie Mae Mosley. I was taking care of her. And every day she would be on the phone at 7 a.m. And I'm trying to figure out who you talking to at 7 a.m. And I sat there one day and it was a prayer call. Every morning she sat on that prayer call and she prayed for all of us. She prayed for me, my mom, my sisters. She prayed for all her kids. And then she would do what she needed to do through that day. But it kept God. She kept God at the forefront. And she would even tell me, I pay my tithes and not even know how I was going to pay my rent. I said, why would you do that? She said, God got me. And then the biggest thing, I said, Grandma, if you could feel better today, what would you do? She said, I would go around and tell people about God. And so that's what I do now. I go around and I continue my grandma's legacy because she put that in me. She told me that we're going to be fine as long as we keep God at the center of our lives.
She telling the truth. As long as you're obedient and do what you are called to do. You walk in your purpose and listen to it. Trust and believe. Yes, yes, yes. I'm blessed to still have both of my grandmothers. One is
Amen.
97 and one is 96. And those are stories that they continue to say up until this day. And just like your grandmother, my grandmother wakes up every morning at 6:30. My grandmother and my mother, they wake up every morning at 6:30. They jump on prayer calls. And I hear my mother call out every family member's name every day. Yeah. So I get it. I understand that that tradition of just passing that down, leaning solely and believing in what God has for your life. So I get that. Now, through the process, you've also developed your GLAD philosophy as a
Yeah.
core part of your journey. Can you break down the framework, gratitude, logistics, audacity, and delusion? Because listen, I got it. I understand it. Okay. Like I want you to tell it to the people because I love it. I love that.
So I believe we got to understand where we at to be able to get to where we're trying to go.
Yep.
That's why the first thing in GLAD is gratitude. Sit down and be grateful. Be grateful for who you are, what you got, celebrate it, love on it, kiss on it, hug on it, everything. Whether it's your pinky toe, whether it's the hair on your head, whatever you got, you have to be grateful for that because somebody else don't got it. And it could be taken from you any moment. So that's gratitude. The logistics is create a plan. Faith without works is dead. If you're not putting no plan in place, you're not figuring out what you need. How you gonna start a business? You don't know what license you need. How you gonna start a business? You don't know the supplies. You need a plan. So logistics. That A is audacity. Audacity, especially as a Black woman, we have to be audacious. Because one thing the other
They
people,
got the audacity and the delusion.
Black men
Okay.
walk in there thinking the job is already theirs. Why
Yeah.
don't we have that same energy? We deserve it. We're more qualified.
And let me throw something in on this. A lot of us spend a lot of time trying to perfect and be
Mhm.
perfect. And just like she said, they walk in there thinking it's theirs and they stink and be wrinkled. So you just do with that what you please, okay? So
Okay. It's heavy on that. And
yeah,
then the D is for delusion. People always take delusion and it's a negative connotation around delusion, or it's just an overly used term. Let's be delulu, be delulu. But a lot of people aren't understanding delusion is really creating a reality that does not currently exist. I created the reality that I want to be a full-time entrepreneur. I put the plan in place. I was grateful for the job that I had. I put the plan in place and then I took the steps to be able to get there. And that's what you have to do. You have to be grateful, put those logistics in place, take audacious action, and be a little delulu about it.
absolutely. I 100% agree with you on that because I had to be delusional to do this. Okay. I
Yeah.
had to be delusional to do this.
And look how you turning out. You're
Yeah.
doing great.
Listen, and not complaining about it, but just letting people know the delusion is there,
It
okay?
has to be. It has to
And
be.
the audacity, okay? And the audacity. Let's keep it all the way 100. But and everybody around me knows how grateful I am to be in the space that I am and to be doing the things that I am capable of doing right now. So that's why I said I absolutely love your GLAD philosophy because it's if it's something that needs to be taught, it most definitely needs to be that gratitude, logistics, audacity, and delusion, but you need to shape it in a way that actually works. So I love that. Now, you made the huge choice to leave a comfortable, stable life to return to being, the quote unquote broke college student again for your master's program. What gave you the audacity to take that leap of faith?
Faith over fear.
I know that's
Faith over fear.
girl.
That has been my sentence for the past. I have been in Chicago for a year. Oh, a year and 1 day, according to today. It's been a year and 1 day since I officially moved, and it all had to do with faith over fear. I had faith that moving to Chicago was going to work for me. I had faith that that degree was going to help me, and I had faith in myself to make it happen. If I didn't, I would have been coming up with every excuse. Oh, I can't afford it. Oh, it's too far. Oh, but I didn't want that. And I also think it was alignment in talking to God. It wasn't just my faith in me, but my faith in God, because God brought me that program. Who finds programs like that? A multifaceted program for a multifaceted Black girl. I
Mm-hmm.
loved it. I said, "Oh, this is a sign," and I got the offer a week before I was supposed to start the job. The scholarship came in and all of that a week before I was supposed to start that job because God knew if I started that job, I wouldn't be where I
You
am
wouldn't.
today. I would
No, you wouldn't have walked away. You wouldn't have walked away.
I've been stuck.
Look, ain't God good?
Amen. All the time.
All the time, like ain't God good? Like look at the stuff that He does to move you out of your own way. Sometimes,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like we get stuck and caught up in our plan, but we what I've told people, my favorite saying, especially when I meet women on this journey, is I'm not driving this bus. I know the
Mm-mm.
plan, I know the purpose, but I'm not driving this bus. I'm just the first passenger that got on. I'm opening the door for everybody else to get on. You are welcome to get on this bus. It's as big or as small as it needs to be. But I'm not
Mm-hmm.
driving this bus. And I wake up every day and I ask God, what are we doing today?
Mm.
Yeah.
I love that. I wake up and I tell God, thank you
Yeah.
for letting me
Like,
see another day.
thank
And
you.
then,
That part there. He know how grateful I am. I'm a breast cancer survivor, so
amen.
that's a given. Thank you. So, how does being a poet and a performer intersect with your healing journey? Does it provide a unique outlet for your processing your for you to process your experience?
When I first started writing poetry, it was such a safe space for me. It allowed me to get all my emotions out and put it in fun dialects and be able to get up and perform where people could feel it. I could see people move. They would come up to me after, like, oh my gosh, that was great. But as I started to heal, I realized I didn't know how to write about the good. I only knew how to write when I was down. And
Oh,
that's something now I'm working on because I'm not down no more. And I don't want to write about being down. I don't want to write about being sad. I want to write about being amazing, leaving a legacy, being great, having greatness, having faith. And so now it's a transition where it's kind of scary. I haven't wrote. No, I have wrote, but I haven't performed in a long time because now
oh,
I'm not as confident.
say less. You know, you shouldn't have said that to me.
I know I shouldn't have. I've been skipping out. Like I keep seeing open mic nights, but I'm like,
Oh, I'm about to tell
I
Miss.
don't know.
I'm about to tell Miss Anne Marie on you.
She
I
gotta
am.
teach me how to write positive, and I'll be right back
Yeah,
out there.
I'm okay. Say less. Watch this WhatsApp message. Yeah, say less. Yeah, you already know. I'm about to
I
tell
do.
on you. Yeah, I'm about to tell. And by the way, just so you know, after yesterday, none of y'all better not say nothing to me about what I'm about to do with this poetry slam that we have and with this event. None of y'all. Since everybody
Okay.
busted in the WhatsApp yesterday, I'm a poet. I'm a poet. Okay, I got y'all poets. Yeah.
I'm about to
What?
have to get in the lab.
Yeah, watch. Don't say, listen. I was already planning this video, but the fact that you said that today means that as soon as I get off this interview with you, I'm about to make this video and drop it in the WhatsApp group. I'm a poet. Everybody a poet, and let's see how many of y'all poets want to do what I'm getting ready to ask y'all to do, because y'all
You about to
know
lay it on.
I
Lay on
am.
the pressure.
I am. I'm about to put y'all on the main stage, okay? Because that's yeah, I'm a poet. I watch I write poetry too. Everybody. I write how many people you
They
saw?
did.
Yeah, yeah,
It was like 15 messages at
yeah.
some point.
I
Everybody
write
a poet.
poetry. Not a problem, poets. Yeah. Everybody want to step up. Everybody want to volunteer. Yes, thank you. Thank you. See how God operate and work. Y'all be
Yes,
forgetting.
God. because I'm usually quiet.
Yeah, I'm a vessel. I'm the vessel he bringing all this stuff through. So if I put something in the group and all y'all want to open y'all mouths, y'all just falling right into God's trap and into his plan. So no problem. Okay? All y'all poets. I'm telling Miss Anne Marie on you, as soon as we get off this call, y'all all will be performing during that weekend. And I'm gonna be sending y'all a video asking y'all for a Dear Black Woman poem, because in conjunction to this anthology book, I'm about to publish a poetry book as well.
I wish they had reactions on here so I could give you all the claps.
Yeah, because I saw that yesterday. I said, oh, everybody a poet. Okay.
Yeah, technically, everybody can be a poet.
Yeah, but listen, I'm gonna put y'all poets to work. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Now, you write about struggling to celebrate your accomplishments. We just talked about that. You feeling like you were the standard rather than something special. And I can't even explain to you how many Black women feel that way their entire lives. How are you learning to practice self-love and acknowledge your own milestones now?
Ooh. It's hard. It's so hard. Even with me just graduating with my master's, I was like, I want to party. And I usually am not the party. Like, I don't be wanting parties for me. I want to go to other people's parties. So me wanting a party for myself was like big. That was the first thing I wanted to do to celebrate myself in a long time. I didn't even want to go to graduation. I was forced. I
Why
hate
didn't you want to go
graduations.
to graduation, boo?
They long, they boring. I always tell every time I get a degree since 8th grade, I say I could walk across this fireplace at y'all house and my dad could give me this degree. I don't want to go to the graduation ceremony because it's just long and it's boring. And I don't like that they don't let people celebrate. Why can't we clap? But anyway, I digress.
I know what you mean. Now, you know how people are. If I'm being honest, you know what they don't want. They don't want us to celebrate. Let's just keep it all the way 100. Okay.
That we too loud.
I was just
Whatever.
going to say, we turn up for our people. Okay.
As we should.
As we should. Like, I don't think they understand that to us, a high school diploma, a college degree, a master's degree, a doctorate, those are accomplishments.
Yeah.
And you could have gone in it. Yeah, you could have gone in the other direction, but you didn't. So we as a people, we as a culture appreciate and like to celebrate those things.
Yeah, I agree. So, okay, self-love. Other than that party, I have started to give myself morning routines and I'm trying to make loving on myself a part of my daily routine rather than something I have to be reminded to do. So, the first thing I do in the morning, I no longer touch my phone. I grab a book. I read a chapter or two out of a book. I didn't read 6 books so far out this year, and I'm on book number 7. I'm trying to get to 12. So I read a book and then I journal. I talk about whatever is on my brain, I get it out my head because I want to start the day as clear as possible. And at the end of my journal, I write a letter to God. It always starts, Dear God, and I say, thank you for this, thank you for that. I let them know whatever questions I'm having. And if there's anybody on my heart, I pray for them. If it's somebody that I know is sick or not doing well or traveling, I write down, hey, please, God, I need you to cover this person today. And I sign it, love, eternity. And that's how I self-love my day to start. And then I do my affirmations in the mirror. And then I go to the gym 2 days a week or I walk my dog for a mile. And this is a new thing for me to actually get up and move my body and take care of myself. So it's been feeling really good. And it's allowing me to be on podcasts like this and smile and take care of myself and feel good in my skin. Because I think that's a big thing, especially with transitional age youth, is there's so much on social media right now. You don't always feel good in your skin or you get compared to somebody and you have to stay away from that. You have to focus on who you are and how to make you feel good.
Listen, I 100% agree with you on all of that. I've actually implemented a self-care routine where I'm not touching my phone all day. I've uploaded, Microsoft has a program where you can sync your phone to your laptop. Because one of the things that I noticed was even when I pick up my phone to answer the phone or to respond to a text message or something like that, I found myself checking social media. And it's a huge distraction to what I have going on. And I literally don't have the time to do that. So now, if I'm working, I can answer my phone from my laptop, and I can also respond to text messages from my laptop, which is really cool and makes it super easy, especially when I'm doing work and I don't have to switch between going on my phone and sending a picture to my email because somebody texted to me. Now I just pull up the program on my laptop and all of the pictures are right there. So it also saves me time. Yeah, because again, those little moments, that we don't think about. You sit and you may grab your phone and you may be going to answer it, but as soon as you get off, you hit TikTok, and next thing you know, you're scrolling TikTok, or you hit Facebook and you're looking at your notifications and you're responding to your notifications and you're doing this and you're doing that. And I don't have time for that. Not because, I make time for it. I have a day that I do social media. I have a day that I actually plan and post content and do all of that. But during the day, when I'm supposed to be focused on helping people, when I'm supposed to be focused on doing the tasks that are in front of me, I shouldn't be on social media. So that's self-care. And a lot of people need to understand how that looks. Yeah.
I'm so happy you said that because I have two phones. I have a business phone and I got my personal phone. And so all the social media apps are on that business phone and none of them are on my personal phone. And I went to a networking event yesterday and everybody's like, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. And I'm like, hey, y'all just got to follow me because I don't have it on this phone. Because when I'm in public, I don't want to be tempted to be on social media. And I was about to re-download it just because of that. But you saying that, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to keep focused.
Because when I'm in front of people, what's crazy is I literally just got on my TikTok the other day and I said, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Everybody has been going live and been posting videos about their experience at the Beyonce concert. I go see Beyonce on 7/14. Y'all won't be getting a video from me because I'm not even taking my phone. And I said, I'm not taking my phone because this is one of those experiences that you want to literally be in the moment. And I don't want to be tempted because I'm watching other people's videos on Instagram and on social media. And I'm watching on live and I'm watching how many people are literally standing there just like this. Like you looking at a concert that you in person at through your camera, and I'm grateful. Like me, I'm not complaining because you have afforded me the opportunity to see the entire tour. Yeah, but at the same time, I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm not going to broadcast this concert to everybody. It's been online enough, the entire tour, so everybody knows. Even the first night here in Atlanta last night, I watched it because I was like, she gonna do something here in Atlanta, and she did. And I was like, I told y'all. Yep. And I also understand that Atlanta must be one of her favorite places. We just didn't know that. Yeah.
Probably because I don't know if she did all that in Chicago. And I love that you talking about choosing to be present.
Yeah.
Choosing to be present.
We have to, because these are, you forget. First of all, this is supposed to be enjoyment. Before we had these cell phones, we went to concerts and we really enjoyed ourselves at concerts. We weren't blasting what was going on TikTok, on social media, or for other people to see. We weren't doing that. So now I'm going to take it a step back further. If I'm saying I'm not going to be on my phone all day because I want to focus on my business, when it comes to my self-care, I'm not going to even have my phone around. Because my phone is the issue that most people have. Their phone is what causes anxiety, depression, and all other issues in their lives. Yeah. So no, I'm going to go to Beyonce. I ain't even going to post I mean, I'm not telling y'all what I'm wearing because, again, I can't put it online. My people done honed me in and told me that I can no longer share my certain sides of the world with y'all.
Like the photo shoot, it was cute.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
I think also with the phones, it's like conditioning. I had to start
Yeah.
putting my phone on do not disturb because every time it'll bing, I'm looking, or vibrate, I'm looking. I start feeling like a dog. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no,
And the other
my
thing,
humanity.
the notifications, you know how certain apps will pop up that you have, they put 2, 3, 4, all of that stuff on your phone. But those are also things that cause you anxiety because now every time your phone pings, every time you see a notification where you says you have a message on Facebook or this on Facebook, it like you said, it conditions you to, oh, let me do this, let me do that, let me do this, and you're stuck on your phone all day to the point that at one point TikTok had this thing that say, hey, you've been scrolling for a number of hours, it's time that you stop. So it's called doom scrolling, where you find yourself scrolling on social media for hours and don't even realize that it's been hours.
You waste so much life.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah, so no, being present, being in the moment, just being able to appreciate life, being able to appreciate art. For instance, somebody asked about the gala and was I going to go live for the gala? I said I won't even have my phone. I'm passing my phone off to my assistant. I'm trying to make sure we have enough media presence there. If I do go live, it'll be in those moments that I think to go live, or if I'm walking around, it'll be planned live events. You get what I'm saying? Where I go live because I walk through one of the rooms that we're doing for it. Like all the stuff we have planned for this event. So yeah, if I go live, it'll be because I'm trying to showcase and show the world what we've done. And it won't be but where I'm live for 12 hours or something like that. It'll be a very brief live where I either be like, okay, I'm in this room with all of these people. Everybody say hi. And pull out your phone and let's simultaneously hit these social media sites at the same time. So it'd be like everybody is on and everybody is at this event, and then I'm out. Yeah.
That's all you're getting.
That's all you're getting. Yeah. So no, I appreciate that. And it to be honest, that circles back around to a lot of what you talk about in your GLAD philosophy as well. Just logistics of things, setting things up properly and aligning things properly in your life. Now, oh, see, alarms. Look, logistics. Now, your letter ends with a powerful declaration. Black women are the blueprint and we set the tone. Could you unpack that for us? What does that mean to you? And what do you want every Black woman listening to take from that message?
I want every Black woman to understand that we are the reason life is great. The culture we create, the trends we create, the way that everybody wants to be us but don't want our struggles.
Say it again,
We
girl.
are the blueprint. They want to be us. They don't want our what they say, they want our blue, they don't want our blues or
They
something
want
like
our
that.
rhythm, but don't want our blues.
Boom. That's exactly what it is. But there's a reason why. It's because we are the blueprint. Everything branches off from something a Black woman did,
Yeah.
something a Black woman gave, even the medical field. They know what they know because they studied us.
Yeah.
Are
Say,
the
oh,
blueprint.
you just hit a whole one on that one because they studied us. They took our stem cells and developed stuff from it. Okay. Whew, y'all heard when Robert F. Kennedy embarrassed himself when he got on his little press conference and he said Black people should not be vaccinated the same way that everybody else should because they don't need it. So that was a truth, but it was not supposed to be known. Okay.
That's what it is. Just understand who you are, the power that you possess, and continue to step into it and be audacious about it. because we are Black women. We set the tone. We are the blueprint, and everything revolves around us. Not to be cocky, but to be audacious.
And there were no lies told in that statement. Eternity, tell people where they can find you.
You can find me at eternitysledge.com. On there, you'll find information about the nonprofit organization, the community, me, whatever you need. It'll all be on eternitysledge.com or at eternitysledge on almost every single platform.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much for sharing your journey, sharing your story, allowing me to publish your story, being a part of this anthology project. I am so grateful for it. Thank you so much. Listen, you guys, this has been another phenomenal episode of the Dear Black Woman podcast. Eternity's story is a powerful lesson in turning your pain into positivity, embracing every facet of who you are, and having the audacity to create the life that you want. Now, her GLAD framework is a tool that we all can learn from. Gratitude, logistics, audacity, and delusion. And to our listeners, be sure to look for Eternity's story in the Dear Black Woman anthology. This has been another episode of the Dear Black Woman podcast. You can listen to our podcast on whatever podcast platform you desire. We are on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Amazon, Audible, iHeartRadio, and everywhere else. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to walk in your light, and we will see you next time.